We're getting ready for the second weekend of Premier League action. We got some huge matches coming up, especially my Chelsea Blues versus West Hampton United. So let's bring in West Ham legend Carlton Cole to talk about the Hammers versus the Blues and the Premier League's impact in the USA. My man, thank you for joining. Thank you for hopping on with us. Just to give you guys some context, this dude over 280 appearances in the Premier League, 4 different teams. He is a legend. He's Carlton Cole. We've shot together when the Premier League comes over on its summer tours and its fan fests. So again, thanks for joining us, my man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling great. Just on my vacation, you know how it goes, just trying to get some more sun before I go back to work.
I'm looking very Drake-ish myself. I'm very light-skinned. I need a little sun myself.
Yeah,
man.
I'm pretty dark. I'm pretty dark now. I'm topped up on the sun. Vitamin D's popping.
All right, man, let's kick this thing off. Let's talk about the Premier League's impact over here in the United States. You've been to the United States with West Ham and the Premier League a bunch of times. So are you surprised that the club and the league have such a huge following over here?
Listen, it's in the saying. We've got a song out here, obviously not out here in Greece, but in London. West Ham are massive everywhere we go. Yeah, because that's what we are. We got fans everywhere, and especially if you're a West Ham fan, trust me when I say this, they understand the value of being West Ham. West Ham, the name, it travels far, and if you've watched Green Street as well, which is a really popular movie, they use West Ham in that, and there's other football movies where you always see the reference to West Ham as well. So West Ham are a very big club, very followed all over the world. Might not sing from the rooftops if you're a West Ham fan, but lately, because we just won the Europa Conference League, there's a lot of fans coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, there's a huge fan base here, man. Like I watch matches at this place called the Football Factory here in the States. West Ham fans, they come out, man. They make noise, they're rowdy. And I encourage everybody to watch Green Street because that is the movie when it comes to English soccer. Again, to go back to you being over here in the United States, what would you say is your favorite part about the U.S.? You can keep it PG-13 or rated R. Who cares?
No, listen, do you know the thing about the U.S.? Like, everyone in the USA are big fans of sport in general, and whether it be soccer, I know you guys call it soccer, we call it football. I might get actually into trouble with some of our football fans out here because they hate the word soccer, but yeah, we call it football, and whether it be NFL, whether it be basketball, baseball, you guys support that movement, that team that you support with all your heart, and I can see like people live and breathe sport. So now when it comes to obviously the soccer game or the football, you guys support that with everything you have as well. So you pick a team, because I spoke to a few people from the US that didn't really have a connection with the UK or European football. And they just pick a team or they might like the color of the team, or they might have some history back in the day where with their family that knows something a little bit about Chelsea or West Ham or whoever it might be. And they stick by that and say, that's the team I support. Or they might just like the name. And they'll support that team to the death. And I've come across some brilliant fans. Or sometimes when like some US obviously people go over to the UK, they might see or pick up a team from the trip over to the UK, you know, and then they just keep on following that team. So it's growing. The sport's growing. It's already big. It's the days of Pele when Pele was playing over in America. There's been some big stars that's gone over. David Beckham's gone over to America, you know. So it's been a great experience for the US fans over there.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned David Beckham coming over here in America. Like we said, the Premier League continues to grow over here, but MLS continues to grow right here in its home front as well. In fact, Argentina's manager, Lionel Scaloni, said that it's trending up. we see Messi lighting it up match after match. And like you said, we've had David Beckham, Wayne Rooney, Ibra come over and play in the MLS before. So I want to get your thoughts on this. Is the MLS attractive enough for players from the European leagues to come over and play?
Yeah, of course. Like the MLS, who doesn't want to live in the USA, man? Like, you know what? I had a chance to play in the US a long time ago, and I did play eventually, but I wanted to play in my prime. I did have a chance, but I turned it down because I was at that time I was trying to get into the England team, and if you left at that time, if you didn't play in England, you wouldn't get it into the national team, at that time. Yep. So I had to stay in the country when one of the US team came calling. So it was a big shame that I didn't get over there in the end. But, like, because it's well supported over there, now you've got David Beckham over there, you've got obviously, you've got Messi over there that he's doing his thing. The eyes are on the MLS now. We're looking at the MLS. Everybody in England, everybody in Europe are looking at the MLS. I just came back from the Ivory Coast in Africa, Abidjan. And listen, they are looking at the MLS now because Messi, the greatest player of all time, is playing in that league. So it's kudos to you guys over there that's bringing the best players from around the world into one place. And Miami are spoilt for choice right now because they're going to have the pick of the roost. And a lot of other teams as well, and other players are going to want to go and finish their career or start their career in the MLS. I've got some kids that don't quite make it into the Premier League over here. I'll always advise them to go over to the MLS or go over to the USL and go and try your trade because there will be opportunities. And then you've got good coaching. The coaching over there as well is improved. So you've got people like obviously Wayne Rooney that's coaching over there. Thierry Henry, world-class player, coached over there. So there's times are changing when people want to go in their prime now as well as a pro.
Yeah, and you mentioned your time out in the Ivory Coast. Chelsea legend Didier Drogba came over, played for Montreal. He also played for Phoenix Rising. Let's talk about West Ham, man. Let's get into some Premier League action for this weekend. Obviously, they drew in their opener against Bournemouth. How do they come away with 3 points against my Chelsea Blues this weekend?
Man, it was crazy. Like, look, you got to understand, Bournemouth are they're a good outfit. They're owned actually by Americans, right? Yep. Isn't it Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
I can't say Michael Jordan. You have to put the B in, right?
Yeah, got to throw that B up in there.
Yes. But yeah, like obviously they're a well-supported team now. Everybody looks at Bournemouth, and we didn't do too well against them on the last weekend. Well, we should have won. We done well against them the year before, obviously in the Premier League, and but we didn't really do well against them the last game. But there were signs of improvement. Jared Bowen scored a great goal to start the season off, and he's going to be a big influence in the West Ham team this season. But I'm just going to be so happy when I see this game because West Ham always want to play well against Chelsea. It's like when you come to London, it's East v West. And I'm split in between the two, obviously, because I played for both for quite a long time. I started my career at Chelsea. And West Ham, obviously, I played my best years there. So, but this is a game that everybody's going to be looking at because Chelsea have had some good signings as well, and everyone wants to see how they get on. And then obviously West Ham will be playing at home. And they didn't do too well against Bournemouth, but they're going to want to put in a good performance against a team like Chelsea, but just to see where they're at. Because Chelsea are definitely not settled just yet, but you can see they're on the route to success. And it'll be the right time to play them, not later on in the season for West Ham.
Real quick, before we let you go, what are your expectations for the Hammers this season? Where do you think that they fall within the standings at the end of the year? Well,
for me, there's still a few more signings that need to be done to get up to speed. We'll just let obviously Declan Rice go. He used to be a Chelsea player as well. But obviously he's gone to Arsenal now, so that's a big gap to fill. And it's we'll see if we can get any more players in. We've just signed Alvarez, and he looks like a brilliant player. We're working on a few others right now. And yeah, it's going to be really good to see what happens. I know the defense is quite an issue for us at the moment, so we'll have a look at that. But yeah, Chelsea, they're looking great all round at the moment. They're signing players left, right, and centre. They just missed out on the Elise, you know. West Ham, I don't know where they're going to finish, man. It just depends how they start, and hopefully they can get the right players in by the end of the window to go and secure at least a top half finish of the table. Also, you got to look at they're in the UEFA, not even in the Conference League, the UEFA Europa League at the moment. So they're going to have to obviously do well in that. So there's a lot of things to consider. Are they going to go for the Europa League, or are they going to look at the Premier League and concentrate on that? Because West Ham just need a little bit of strength in depth to get all of these things and tick off all the boxes. And it could be but I'm just looking at a top half of the season.
Spoken like a true legend, my man. Carlton Cole, thanks for joining us, bro.